What's up, fellas? Just wanted to talk about something today. Something that's been weighing on my mind. And a new plan for my life. There might be a while before I upload another video because I am planning to completely get rid of my smartphone. I'll explain why here in a bit, but all my videos are recorded through my phone. And I edit them through my phone. I upload them through my phone. So I will have to find another way to go about that. I could probably just get a camera or something and be fine. But I'm gonna ditch my smartphone and I'm gonna go back to old technology. I'm gonna get me I've got an iPod Touch for music. I've got my DS for gaming on the move. And I'm gonna invest in what are you kids calling it now? Dumb phones? Yeah, a dumb phone. That's what it is. I'm gonna invest in one of those. Get you an old Motorola Razr or something like that. An old flip phone or a BlackBerry or something. I don't know. Go old school. And I'll tell you why. Life feels lifeless, joyless. And I'll tell you why I feel that way. I feel like we as a society have become too reliant on our smartphones. We're always using them for every little task. Journaling, listening to music, watching videos, looking stuff up, banking, shopping online, everything. We're using our phones almost 75% of the day. What's the first thing you do on your work break? Aside from light up a cigarette, if you were a real motherfucker. But, no, I'm playing. But, seriously, what's the first thing you do? I bet the first thing you do is open your phone and look at, whatever you might be looking at, what notifications you got, who's messaged you, or you open up fucking Instagram, scroll for a little bit. See what I'm saying? That's the first thing you do on your break. You go right to your phone. I feel like our smartphones are kind of, I don't know, they've become this thing that we're over-relying on. And, because it can do anything. It can do whatever you want it to do. But I also kind of feel like it's kind of a win-lose because it feels hollow. Think of if you had any superpower, right? I'm going to bring it back to that question. What would it be, right? Now, some people might say, and this is what I'm relating this issue to. If you said, I would have the ability to make anything I want appear instantly. I could create anything that I wanted to. I would just snap my fingers and there it is. I could create things, money, I could create whatever I imagine. And I could have whatever I want. Okay, cool concept. You will get bored of that shit so fast. Because if you were just handed everything in life, if you're just handed everything, you will not enjoy it. You'll like it for about a week and you'll get bored. It will feel hollow. And I feel like that's kind of what the power of smartphones has done to us. Because they can do anything. They do whatever you need it to do. Including me recording this video right now. But it still feels hollow. So I decided, you know what? This is taking it takes up a lot of our time. And time You don't know how much you have. There's this whole thing, people love to spout the bullshit of, oh, you've got time to figure it out. You're, maybe you're young, whatever. You've got time to figure X, Y, Z out. You've got time for this. You've got time for, next week, next month, next year. You don't know that. You could walk outside and get hit by a bus tomorrow. You don't know if you've got tomorrow. It's not promised. Maximize the now. Where did I even go with this? What am I talking about? I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. So I feel like it's a waste of time. We're on our smartphones all day, or for a lot of the day, we revolve around it. And so I'm tossing it out. Because I noticed that it's just a reliance. It's just like a sort of, not an addiction, but an attachment, if you will. It's like a sort of, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's like an attachment. We're attached to our phones because they can do whatever we want them to do. It's a pretty big gust of wind. It's very windy out here. But anyways, and so I feel like, what if I just didn't have one? What if I just went old school and brought back the meaning to living life? So, you have dedicated devices for each task, and then it feels more intentional, if that makes sense. I don't know if you saw my last video where I was smoking a cigarette with my buddy, but we were talking about the experience of smoking a cigarette, and that you have to have the time and the will to go smoke a cigarette as opposed to a vape. You can hit a vape anywhere, nobody gives a shit. But a cigarette, you have to go to specific places, you have to be allowed to, and you have to have the time and the will to do it. You have to step outside and go smoke. You can't just lay in bed and smoke a cigarette. Well, maybe you can, but usually people don't want you to smoke in the house. So you have to have a time, you have to have an idea, you have to do something. You have to do something. That's the point of it. You have to go outside and do something before you can do this. And I feel like it's the same thing with technology. You have to, so, for example, music. Like I said, I've got an old iPod Touch that I loaded a bunch of songs onto. Now I have to have the will to listen to music. And you only have just the songs that you put on there. It's not a streaming service. There are no streaming services on that thing. It's an iPod 4th generation, okay? It's on iOS 6. I can't do jack shit with it aside from listening to music. And that's all I want it for. But you have to load specific songs onto it. There's no streaming. So you only have what you put on there. And you gotta stick with that shit. But again, it also feels more intentional, Now I have this dedicated device for it. I have to pick this other device up, plug in my headphones, and I have to go outside or whatever, go wherever. The point is, it has to be intentional. I have to go grab this device and choose to use it, Whereas a phone, you don't think about it, you just do it. You pull your phone out your pocket, you link up your AirPods or whatever you got, you open up Spotify and you just jam. And that's all it is. That's all you gotta do. But isn't that so fucking meaningless? Isn't that boring as fuck? Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just weird as fuck. But that just seems so boring to me. That you just, I just whip out this fucking device and, it can do whatever I want it to, and I'm not thinking about it. I just pull it up. That's so hollow. It's a hollow victory. It's a win-lose. Yeah, you can do all these things with your whatever you got, but does it feel good? Probably not. Or maybe you probably don't even think about it. So you don't really care if it feels good or not. I'm gonna light up another. You don't really care if it feels good or not. You're not thinking about it. You're just doing it. It's like an instinct at that point, a reflex, if you will. So, but with this DS or iPod or whatever I have to actually have the will to do it. I have to go out of my way to pick up this other device aside from my phone, to get a different device specifically to do a certain task. It's like a calculator app, and then you have a calculator. And you're doing some math homework, whatever the fuck. You gotta figure out some shite, and you have an actual calculator. It's different. You pulled it out for a specific task, rather than just fucking opening an app on your phone and then closing it 2 seconds later. You gotta have the will to use certain things, and I feel like that just adds more meaning to it, and it makes it a little more interesting, a little more joyful. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of this old piece of shit. And I'm going to get a fucking old ass flip phone. And it's going to be for calling and texting. That's all I'm going to use it for. I already got rid of social media. That's another thing I wanted to cover real quick. The youth. I'm talking about my age. Around there. I'm 21. Okay. 2005. So anywhere from late 90s to like 2007, even some of Gen Alpha, all of us are kind of wrapped up in this shithole of no attention span and getting caught into fucking doom scrolling. Okay, it's a big habit that all of us have, most of us. And I think we've grown an addiction to social media. And it's toxic. A lot of the apps on there are toxic. You won't be productive. You're wasting your fucking time. But you don't even think about it. That's what I'm saying. Is like, you don't really give a shit. It's like it just kind of happens. You're not thinking about it. You're just... But also it fucks up your attention span, because these are like, 30-second videos. And so now your attention span is no longer than 30 seconds. That's why songs, a lot of the times, average around 3 minutes and 20 seconds because of people's attention span. They'll lose interest after that 3 minutes and 20 seconds mark, at least nowadays. Songs in like the 80s and 90s were like fucking 5 to 7 minutes long sometimes. The song "Smoke on the Water," classic rock song, one of the most iconic guitar riffs ever. That's a 5-minute song. Now everything is like 3 minutes, and that has to do with people's attention spans, because all of us have had our attention spans nerfed, so we can't sit still for more than 2 minutes without scrolling. It's a problem. Because it can also transfer over to conversation, And that's another thing. Nobody fucking talks to each other anymore outside. It's all about texting, right? Because you open the internet, you can talk to anybody from any side of the world ever. You know what I mean? It's like you talk to people from fucking who knows where. You're in the U.S. and you're talking to somebody from fucking Germany or France or the U.K. The world is so connected now, and that's good, cool. But you don't go outside and talk to your fucking neighbors. You don't go outside and meet new people. I've never actually dabbled in dating apps. Ever. And I don't want to. Because I feel like it's such bullshit. I don't want to swipe around on this shit. I want to go meet somebody. I want to talk to people. I want to make friends. You know what I mean? And nobody fucking does that anymore. And it's all because of social media. Not saying the internet is a bad thing. You know, it's a great tool when you use it correctly, but there's a lot of fucking harmful shit on there too. And it desensitizes us and just makes you reliant on it, and you stop having actual human connections with people. You know, I can't remember the last time I had an actual conversation with a stranger my age. The only people that can hold conversations are people above the age of 30. Those are the only people that will talk to me longer than a minute. So, and that's a problem, you know, because humans are social animals. We're not meant to go this life alone. You can be sad as fuck. I'll tell you that now. You're not meant to. You're not meant to go it alone. You got to do this shit together, bro. You got to. For the mental state. Otherwise, you're just going to be sad. And that's a problem now. A lot of people are fucking sad. A lot of kids my age, a lot of teenagers, they're depressed. And it's probably due to the lack of human connection, the lack of conversation, the lack of friends, the lack of understanding, the lack of people giving a fuck about them. Because nobody gives a shit. People are desensitized to everything, even death. You will get mocked for dying. Seriously. Nobody cares anymore. Nothing is taken seriously anymore because of the bullshit. Because everything is put out on social media, you see it everywhere, and you become desensitized to it. You hear the loss of somebody, it's like, well, oh well. Meanwhile, 10 years ago, when I hear the loss, when my Pepaw died, who was the only father figure I ever had, I was shattered. Changed me for the rest of my life. Do people feel like that anymore? I don't even know, man. I remember whenever I'd hear about a singer in a band or someone or anybody who passed away and being heartbroken. But nobody gives a shit anymore. You know, so we're all wrapped up in our own damn lives that we don't really take a minute to think about, you know, somebody is hurting. You know, this person is dying. But nobody gives a shit. I mean, yeah, no, I get it. You know, we've all got our own shit going on, but have a heart, bro. A lot of us are lacking that. And it's resulting in a lot of sad fucking people. Because they feel like nobody gives a shit about them. Because social media fucking keeps them away from actual human connection. And ruins your attention span. And I also know that a lot of people our age are also addicted to porn. Get off of that shit, bro. It's not going to do anything for you. At all. There's no reason to do it. None. I don't care how good you feel in the moment. I know you feel bad afterwards. Quit that shit. Just quit that shit. This thing is out. Okay, we're good. Point is,
that damn wasp is back.
alright, whatever. Point is, so yeah, I'm ditching my smartphone. I got rid of all social media anyway. I'm not on Instagram. I'm not on TikTok. I used to be on TikTok. I'm not anymore. The only social media apps I have are Snapchat and Discord, and those are only for messaging specific people. I don't talk to anybody else on there. I don't go on spotlights. I don't enter any servers. I'm in one server, well, a couple, but they're all only with people that I know in person, you know. So I just thought, you know what, and half of those people already have my number anyways. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to fucking ditch this shit and just get a fucking flip phone and just give them my number and they can call me whenever they want. and I'll have a dedicated device for every task that I need to do. And it'll be a lot more, it'll feel a lot more intentional, and it'll give me a lot more to do, you know, and it'll just bring more feeling to it. I have to have the will to listen to music. I have to actively go out of my way and pick up this iPod. I have to have the will to play Mario Kart DS and go pick up my DS instead of emulate it on my phone. Because I could have just damn well did that and been just fine. But I didn't. Because fuck that shit. I'd rather play the actual game on what it's for than emulate that shit. Fuck emulators. Unless you're on a PC, then, you know, fuck it, whatever. Or you have a hacked Wii U or a hacked 3DS, then go for it. Anyways, but yeah, it just feels so much better to have purpose with everything that you use. This has no purpose. Well, that's a lie. It does have a purpose, but you don't think about it. I need to be able to think about it. You know what I mean? I need to process that I'm doing this for a reason. So, fuck it. I don't know, man. Maybe you'll find this interesting. You know, that's why I wanted to make this video. Maybe some people relate. Some people might want to go this route. I've been liking it so far. I don't listen to music on this anymore. I don't play games on this anymore. I only watch YouTube on my computer. And I only Google search on my computer. And so far, I've only been using this for fucking Snapchat and Discord. And that's only to message specific people. Or to make calls. Or, you know, anything like that. That's all I do for this. So I'm going to get rid of it and get a flip phone. Or BlackBerry or something. Because this has become obsolete at this point. So, let me know what you think. Maybe you'll take the same path. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you've got something out of it. God bless you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.